So they are actually working in that building this evening. It's a very rare sight to see that flag of an evening time, ladies and gentlemen. The clock is very famous. It's known as Big Ben. Big Ben is a nickname for the bell that chimes the hour. And the real name of the clock itself, the tower, that's the great clock of Westminster. And at the moment we can't hear Big Ben either. You can't see it, you can't hear it. Big Ben is not working at the moment. They've silenced the bell whilst they're scaffolding the tower. On the left here is where you come round with the building with the green roof sections of the Ministry of Defence, headquarters of the Army, Navy and Air Force. An important building there to your left. The white column with the eagle on the top, that's the Royal Air Force War Memorial, and it commemorates the brave pilots who sadly fell during the First and the Second World Wars. The vessel moored in the river to the left with the lighting, that's the Tattershall Castle. It's been here a long time now, and that's a floating pub on the left hand side. Go back here one day, it's worth going there, a couple of drinks, something to eat, it's quite nice in there. The Gothic style building to the left is Whitehall Courts. That's mainly private apartments. It's over 100 years old, that building. A lovely hotel in there as well, the 5-star Royal Horse Guards Hotel. Building with the curved roofs at the front there, that's Embankment Place, offices of PricewaterhouseCoopers, the Chartered Accountants. Big company. Charing Cross Bridge, the first bridge we go beneath on the way down the river. A very busy commuter line in and out of London. As we run down through the bridge, on the right we have the Royal Festival Hall, and it rates as one of the finest concert halls in the whole of Europe today. The building is soundproof for the passing trains, and all the top names are performed in there over the years. It's very nice if you've got a spare evening to walk from the London Eye all the way down the riverside here, right the way down to Tower Bridge. That's a nice evening stroll, ladies and gentlemen. Try and do it while you're in London. On the left is London's oldest monument, granite column, Cleopatra's Needle to the left. The building with a large clock on it, the old Shell Next House in the Strand, the old Shell building to the left. That's the largest clock face of any building here. It's bigger than Big Ben's clock face. Building next to that, that's the famous Savoy Hotel in the Strand, very, very expensive London hotel. Waterloo Bridge here, opened in 1945. And for those on that right hand side there, on the starboard side, as we go through the bridge, look ahead of you, a lovely view of the City of London skyline, a unique view of this part of the river. And for those on the port side, don't worry, because the river's bending in front of us, you'll get the view in a few moments as well. And the view will actually get better in a few moments, okay? Just on the left, the long white building, Somerset House, and that's where we used to keep the records of births, deaths and marriages of all English and Welsh people. In the civil service, it was known as the Hatcham, Matcham and Dispatcham departments. It's a very well-known London building there. That black and white vessel to your left, the St Catherine Royal Barge, which is a bar and restaurant today. The Wellington, the white ship, yellow funnel, a livery hall for the company of Master Mariners, for the old sea captains of London. Now Prince Charles is a member, and his father, the Duke of Edinburgh. They're both distinguished members of the company. On the right, the red brick building, Stamford Wharf, is an old refrigeration warehouse. It's where they made OXO, the famous stock cube, Look at the tower on the roof of the building. You see the windows spell out the word OXO. Today the building is apartments and a restaurant on the top floor of the building. And those tower blocks, if you're curious, on the right here, these are luxury riverside apartments, sea containers house, offices and a hotel as well. There's the lovely view now to the left hand side. Maybe come over to the left here. Great view of the city and St Paul's Cathedral as well there. Nice shot there. The red brick building to the left, Sion College, a study for the clergy here in London. Many books in the building relating to all the religions in the world today. Queen Victoria's own personal Bible is in that building. Next to it, the old City of London School for Boys. Sir Winston Churchill, the wartime Prime Minister, attended the School of Law. These are the Blackfriars bridges now we're going under. Blackfriars Road Bridge. An old Victorian bridge, that one, Blackfriars. The red columns, the remains of the Alexandra Railway Bridge. That was the first railway over the river. And also here, Blackfriars Railway Bridge. Undergone redevelopment, they have built a new station on top of the old bridge. Now boys and girls, look to the left, there's a gap in the buildings here. A nice view of St Paul's very, very shortly. The masterpiece of Sir Christopher Wren. He designed many buildings in London, around the world. St Paul's is his masterpiece. 365 feet high. And the height for the building is representing 1 foot for each day of the year. A beautiful building, St Paul's, and it's somewhere. We've got the Tate Gallery of Modern Arts. Now while you're in London, folks, you might want to go for a view of London from above. Go to the Tate Gallery. They've got a viewing floor up there, and it's free to go up there. There's no charge. Save yourselves a bit of money, folks. Go to the Tate Gallery. And the bridge there, the Millennium Footbridge, that's better known as the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge over the river. It's been strengthened, it's perfectly safe today, but on opening day, too many people on that bridge, it tipped from side to side. Hence the nickname, the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge over the Thames. And there is footage on YouTube, if you don't believe. The round white building on the right, the Globe Theatre of Shakespeare. Like Shakespeare, try and go to the Globe on the right hand side. Southwark Bridge, this one, it was built to relieve the traffic off the old London Bridge. But it's a very quiet bridge compared to some of the other bridges here in London. Now if anybody wants to visit an old riverside pub, there are many old pubs in London, and we have one to the right. Where you see all the lights there, that's the Anchor at Bankside. Now this little pub is 400 years old. And people like Dr. Johnson, Samuel Pepys, William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Sir Christopher Wren, and even Tom Cruise are some of the famous people who've been in the Anchor Tavern over the years on our rights. The Anchor Tavern does nice food if you're interested. There's Cannon Street Bridge there, the station on the left in the City of London. On the right here we've got the old warehouses, buildings used originally for storing cargo. They're now apartments, and a pub there on the bottom floor of the old Thames siding. If you've heard of the Borough Market, it's behind the buildings on the right. If you walk through this part of London, the Borough Market's worth having a look around, especially during the daytime with all the food stalls. And you have Southwark Cathedral there, that dates back to the 13th century. An interesting part of London's riverside, Bankside and the Borough Market. And we're now going under London Bridge. The name is on the brickwork. Opened in 1973 by our present Queen. It is the 5th bridge we've had here since the Roman times of London. London Bridge is probably the most historic river crossing over the Thames here. There's even a nursery rhyme about the bridge. London Bridge is falling down. Quickly to the left, the monument to the Great Fire of London, built to look like a candle. A candle is said to have started the Fire of London in the Royal Bakery in Pudding Lane. The city was wiped out in 4 days by the Great Fire of London, 350 years ago. On the left we see this yellow brick building. That's the famous old Billingsgate Fish Market, world famous for the fine fresh fish and the Cockney porters and their foul language. But a fish market was recorded here in the Saxon times of London. See that tall building up on the left, folks? Number 20 Fenchurch Street, an office building with a viewing floor at the very top as well, open to the general public, and to go up there is no charge. Have a look on the internet for this building. It's called Sky Garden London. You can even go up there at evening time. If you're dressed quite smartly, go along there this evening. If you've got ID with you, they let you up there for free. The long white building is Walter Guard House, the old customs building for the Pool of London. On our right hand side now we have HMS Belfast. She's moored as a museum to naval sea power, served with great distinction through the Second World War, and then she last fired the guns in anger during the Korean War, and she was the flagship for the United Nations. Great day out for children. You go up onto the Captain's Bridge, and you can even go down into the engine rooms as well. Belfast is part of London's Imperial War Museum. Tower Piers on the left, folks, our little destination. Ahead of the boat we have Tower Bridge, the gateway to London. Now this is the bridge, boys and girls. Many people mistakenly call it London Bridge, but it's Tower Bridge, this one. The roadway of that bridge, where you see the lighting going across, that part of the bridge can open up and allow a tall masted ship to come into this section of the river. The bascules of Tower Bridge have been raised successfully many times. It has only failed to open on a few occasions. Now folks, as we turn the boat, look to your right, go over this side, a nice side-on view of the bridge. And as you see there, folks, it's all lit up at night time. It does look very pretty of the evening time. There is a bus coming over the bridge. Be quick, get the photo of the bus on the middle of the bridge. There you go, a little picture postcard. If you would like to see the bridge open while you're here in London, have a look on the internet. Go to Google, you type in Tower Bridge lifts, and it tells you when the bridge will next open. I think the next day, Wednesday, there's an opening at 6:15 if anybody's in the bridge, to blend it in with the Tower of London, which is the castle ahead of the boat and to the right. It has served London over the years as a palace, a prison, royal mint, royal observatory, and even a zoo at one time. The crown jewels are kept in there today, and they're guarded by yeoman warders who are better known as the Beefeaters. 900 years of history there, folks, much of it very gruesome. Now you can't go in the tower the evening time, but you can still walk around the perimeter of the building. Now boys and girls, look, the last guarantee boat going back up the river, that boat just going into the pier there, a connecting service back for those of you with the return tickets. Leave us here at the pier when we go alongside, go to boarding point B, and the City Alpha is your connecting boat service back. If you want the underground or the bus tours, you can get